tabloid in the grocery store without seeing a headline or a story about John and Kate +8, now Splitsville. But their very public separation could be a great guide for what not to do during a divorce. Attorney at law Lori Clark Viviano is here and sharing the mistakes that the most talked about media couple has done. But hopefully we can get some of our viewers to learn.
The one that everybody read about is how he took all the money out of the account. No, can't do that.
Ixnay.
Ixnay.
What do you think about that? I mean, I was shocked when I heard that, but is that something that you think a lot of couples might do without realizing it's a no-no, or is that just a big old sneaky Pete thing?
Technically, if you and I are married, I can wipe out the account. But once we file for divorce, there's what's called an atros, and I don't want to get technical on you, but it tells you what you can't do for this exact reason. Can you imagine you're married and you go, and I just had this happen with one of my clients. She goes to the grocery store and everything's declined. He's turned off her credit cards, he's canceled her health insurance. I had one where they canceled car insurance and they got in a car accident. You can't do that. What you have to do is preserve the community. Now, that doesn't mean I kind of encourage people, go ahead if you want to take half of the account. Just think in terms of when you walk in front of a judge, how do you justify, here's a woman, I don't care if you like Kate or not, but she has 8 children, and now you have no money in your account.
Right. So, not to get technical, but was this document signed before John took the money out of the account?
Well, we don't know.
We don't know.
We're reading tabloids. That's why we're talking about what you can't do.
Okay.
But as you said, how nice is that?
Yeah. So, okay, so that's something we can learn from. You don't want to take money out of the joint account.
Well, you can take half.
You can take half of it out. Okay. But you don't want to wipe the other person completely out, because if that was done to you, it'd be mortifying.
What I tell, people, if they have someone that spends a lot of money, go ahead and tell the credit card company you can only spend to $3,000. But don't turn it off. Perfect, look at this, love this. Don't cancel their insurance. What if there's a car accident? You now will be liable for the entire amount.
What if you cancel their insurance and your children are in the car with them?
Exactly. The thing is, to me, I know this is going to sound kind of cliche, show good manners. Would you want someone to get hurt? Would you want any of those items to have a negative impact even on yourself? Because if you cancel someone's health insurance and something happens, you're going to be responsible for the entire amount.
That could just have such huge ramifications. Huge.
People don't like to hear this. The courts will fix it. If you're paying premiums and your wife or your husband's not paying their half, the courts will, fix that at a later date. But you can't just go around canceling things.
Canceling credit cards. I mean, I'm sure you've had that in your practice with clients that have done that. What repercussions happen when the credit cards are canceled?
Well, how I always look at it is this. At some point, you're either going to have to look at a judge or a mediator, and how are you going to explain all of this, in my opinion, bad conduct? To me, again, I think you should always show good manners. You should always do the right thing. And, everybody in the tabloids is talking about how she spends money and she's extravagant, and that's all well and good. You still have 8 children to feed.
Exactly. Relations with the nanny. All right, you burn the bridge there. That's not going to be a good thing.
Well, everybody loves to talk about, oh, this is a no-fault state. But here's the reality of it. So how do you look as a parent if you're sleeping with the nanny?
I'm going to say not so good.
Not
Lori,
so good.
Did I pass the test there?
Yeah, you passed the
ding,
test.
Ding, 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 ding.
Exactly.
I look at these kiddos and I look at their little faces and I think, you know what? They are what matters. Who cares whose side you're on, John or Kate's? They are the ones that are going to be affected by this divorce.
Exactly. And again, how I look at it is, act like an adult. Keep your things private. Don't do this stuff, because we're getting to see firsthand what's going on in their life, but I see it every day in my clients' lives.
Right. So we're talking about, we didn't want to get technical, but atros. Tell us kind of briefly what that is and what folks here in California, what we need to do.
Okay, so if you look at the back of a petition, which no one bothers to look at, atros stands for Automatic Temporary Restraining Orders. So everybody thinks that they can do these things, and they can't. And one of the things you also can't do is move your children. Your husband serves you with divorce papers, your parents live in Texas, and you go, great, I'm going to Texas. No, you can go to Texas, your children can't go to Texas. And I love what you said. This really is about the children. Adults will get through it, and that's why I tell people, go see a lawyer, get a consult. you know, just spend that 1 hour to know what you can and cannot do, because one decision you make could have huge ramifications long term that really would not be good for you or your family.
Lori, thank you so much for coming on, and you know what, I think we learned a lot of lessons on what not to do, and again, yeah, those kids do come first. They do. Hey, Lori Clark Viviano, she can be reached at 619-296-1594. Not when she's in Tahiti, though. She's vacationing, so I'm not sure that she's going to pick up the phone.
That's right. And diving.
And diving. All right. She's going to be doing it all. All right. I'm not going to Tahiti anytime soon. Ruben, are you?